What's going on YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming at you guys with a prophecy deck profile. I recently went to a small practice locals that I go to, and I tested this deck and did a couple of duels, which I'm going to dub over for a commentary because it was really loud, but I will post those up. And this was the deck list I ran. This is a first draft that was built this morning when I was still really knackered from regionals yesterday. So I'm not going to pretend it's good, but it was a basis, and it was something that I could test, and I can talk to you guys now about what I would take out on lieu of other things, what was good, what was bad, and so on and so forth. Either way, in my testing I went 2-1. I lost to a hero player who opened the nuts, like Stratos Reborn Miracle Fusion, so that wasn't fun. But either way, I'm going to go into the list and talk about just things about the deck. So to start the deck off, of course, we're going to play 3 of the lovely boss monster, High Priestess of Prophecy. There's not much else I can say about this other than the fact that it is incredibly live, and the rulings on this 3 spellbook thing being Ignition, the fact that it can sap a lad, a Light and Darkness Dragon, is absolutely insane. So this is probably one of the best boss monsters I've ever used, and it's so manipulatable by the deck. I wish I could play more than this. I'm actually considering playing another boss monster, but I can't decide what other spellcaster I want to use. So I'd definitely play a 4th boss monster for this deck after my testing that I did today, because Temperances can become a bit dead. Then after that, of course, I played triple of the Stratos, 3 Spellbook Magicians. This card is absolutely insane. The very fact that you can search it out with secrets, play it, and then search something, it gives you a little bit of field presence. Or the fact that you can first turn set this so your opponent doesn't know what you're playing. If it gets flipped face up by an attack, I believe, you can then add one spellbook anyway. So it's like a Snowman Eater for spellbooks as well. So it's just helpful on the first turn so your opponent doesn't know what you're playing. Then I played triple Temperance. Like a few players, I've been finding this does clog a little bit, but it's kind of so good that you have to take that clog risk, because while it can clog, at the same time it gets you an easy boss monster, and if you have a Wisdom in hand, that boss monster is virtually unstoppable unless they Veil this or Solemn Warning it. So nothing much else to say there. And then I played the 4th type of Temperance, which is Justice. Justice is an interesting card. It's the fact that it primes a Priestess in hand, so say if you have 2 spellbooks in hand, this will usually be a good play. A play I usually make is if I have 2 spellbooks in hand, I'll go summon this, power it, kill something with its 2/6 attack, then in the end phase tribute it off, and that'll put me to 3 spellbooks because the power will have let me search. So that is usually a really nice play that I like to use this for. And then I play 2 Strength of Prophecy. Strength I really like. It's an interesting card. I'd probably cut it down to 1 now that I've been testing it, but it's definitely something that I like having. Just the fact that it's 2k almost all the time, and then goes up to 2/5 and 3k in subsequent turns, or the fact that it can modulate like the levels of a Justice to make a Utopia. It's kind of interesting, you know, it can modulate other levels. I used this on a Priestess to make it 3k so it could beat over things, so it was definitely a very interesting card in testing. Then for the final big monster I played triple Breaker, because I don't play any MSTs in this deck. I couldn't find room for them. But Breaker is really interesting because there's a 1900 beta standard when it comes out because of the token. It's affected by literally every card in this deck, so it's really powerful. And it's the fact that you can like summon this in front of 2 back row, they go bottomless, you can go Wisdom and then pop their other back row with this. You can just do really crazy things with it. It's definitely a really trollsy card to play in the deck, and of course it baits out the warnings so that you can then go like Spellbook of Life, get back a Priestess and things like that. It's a good bait card, and it's good for removing pesky back row. Then the last spellcasters I played were Veilers, because they're so abusable with Spellbook of Life, and they're Veilers, but they're abusable with Spellbook of Life to make synchro plays. Normally I wouldn't play synchro monsters just because I play tuners, but just because I play Veilers. But because Veiler is so manipulatable in this deck, it's so good, and it's a spellcaster, so what's not to love? But yeah, that is the monster lineup. It should be about 17 monsters, which is high for my builds. I'd probably go down to 16 and play another spell or something. Either way, onto the spell lineup, which is where the meat of the deck lies. So I played 3 staples in the form of Reborn, Darkhole, and Storm. That is all the staples I play. The rest is all fun prophecy things. First up, we play double Wonder Wand, because this combined with a Spellbook Magician is a +1. You go Magician, search 1, play this, draw 2. You've now gotten 3 cards for your 2. Spellbook Magician is basically a card-cardee with a search. It is really, really nice. I really love that play. And you can just Wonder Wand for that extra 500 boost. It is a 500 booster. You've got to remember that. And it is the fact that it is... Oh, this is a dead draw. I have a dead draw in hand anyway, and Wand is dead in hand. I can just summon, send, and 2 for 2. So, it's not that bad. So, double Wand. Now on to the spell books. Lots of books. We're going to go, first off, of course, the 3 are the best book. Arguably, anyway. 3 Book of Secrets. I'm trying to find Alties because Cupcakey took hers back. I was borrowing them. 3 Book of Secrets. Rota's any book in the deck. Any book. Why would you not play 3? It's so recyclable with Tower and Eternity by banishing it with Priestess. So incredibly good. Like, the fact that this deck has such a cyclable Rota is so good. I can't get over the fact that this card exists. Then we play triple Spellbook of Wisdom. It's like playing triple Lance, but even more subjective, and it is incredibly good. It's really good in the mirror as well, because like your opponent can be attacking with like a Priestess that's boosted by by their Star Hall, and you can just Wisdom their Priestess to be unaffected by their own spells, and it's so trollsy. It's such a crazy card. Then I play double Life, which is like playing 2 more Monster Reborns, but also lets you abuse Veiler to make Arcanite Magician plays and things like that. So it's a very inventive card, and the fact that it brings back Priestess repeatedly, amazing. And it's searchable by secrets, power, and all sorts. So good. Searchable Reborn. I played 2 Eternity. I'd probably cut it down to 1 now, because this is recyclable with Tower, I guess. But it's the fact that you can go like secrets, make a Priestess play, and then Eternity, your secrets back to hand, which is really nice. So you're recycling your Rota. So I quite like it, and it also lets me recycle my Tower, because Tower is quite an awkward card to recycle, because of course Tower is your recycling engine. So you can banish the Tower, and then get Eternity, then Eternity it back. So it's quite nice. Then I play double Power. Standard. It gets rid of Thunder King. Thunder King is a big problem for this deck. You really will lose to Thunder King. So this gets back Thunder King. Sorry, this gets around Thunder King with every monster in the deck but Magician and Veiler. Then I play double Star Hall. This card is insane. Like, if you watch my duel videos, which I'll be posting up after I make this video, it'll be up in a couple of days because I need to do the commentary. But Star Hall is absolutely insane because it's spell counters. It boosts everything by 100, and you will usually get this to about 10 counters in a duel. So everything's boosted by 1,000, which is huge. And then if it gets the people are afraid of MSTing this because it lets you rotate any spellcaster from your deck, basically. So it's so good, so huge and so good, and it stops people storming. This and Tower stop people storming, but also, as I was saying, it uses spell counters, and you generate a lot of spell counters. So combine Star Hall with Arcanite Magician, and you're dark holing your opponent's field. This is something a friend of mine pointed out to me that I hadn't really realised, and that's insane. The ability to just nuke a field without even using Arcanite Magician's actual tokens is crazy. And then finally I play the second best spellbook in the whole deck. At 1, the Grand Spellbook Tower. Sorry, I'm really tired. It's like 11. This card is insane because of the amount of cards that it recycles, and the fact that it basically lets you draw 2 per turn. You're adding a card back and drawing in addition to your draw phase, and the fact that it's another detrimental card to your opponent because it means they can't Heavy Storm and they don't want to MST it because of its own effect. The only problem with it is it does miss timing if it is MST when its effect activates, apparently. So if you activate its effect to return something, and then your opponent chains MST, it will apparently miss timing and can't get anything out of the graveyard. Apparently. I'm not sure how that works, it's just what I've been told. But I only like this at 1 because 2 can be cloggy. I have experienced that it is cloggy in testing at 2 on Duel Network. So you only need the 1. It is recyclable with Priestess and Eternity, so 1's enough. Either way, that is the spell lineup. It should be absolutely... That should be about 20 spells. And then finally, our traps. The only traps I play are 3 copies of Threatening Roar, because when your deck isn't going off, and basically the only thing that the spells can't stop are attacks. And of course you want to save yourself from attacks occasionally to make different plays. So this is just a really good card. It's chainable. set and flip if your opponent MSTs it, simply because your opponent is going to be holding their MSTs, because they're not going to be MSTing your continuous guys because they're really good. So the moment you set this, they're going to MST it. Pure and simple. Other than that, that is the main deck. I don't actually have a side to show you. I've only got this extra, and this is a very vague extra deck that was copied off of a friend of mine, literally last minute, so I could make this video and make the deck for today. But you can look at it. It's got a couple of Trollsy cards in it, but it's a deck for fun at the moment. So to start things off, I play one Shiny Elf, because you can make this with 2 Book Magicians. It's affected by every single spellbook in the deck, of course, because it is a spellcaster. It's got an okay effect. It's not bad. It's not bad. And of course, let's think about this. Oh, Tower makes it huge. So not Tower. Starhole makes it huge. So why not? We play 1 level 3 in the form of Zen Mains, because it's an emergency level 3. You don't make level 3s very much, but as I said, emergency. I play 3 level 4s in the form of Mace Stroke, Utopia, and Alchemic Magician. A lot of people say, shouldn't this Alchemic Magician be a Shockmaster? Yes, you are absolutely correct. It should be a Shockmaster. But I want to test this because it would be fun and Trollsy to search spell cards. So I felt like playing it. And then the final Xyz I play is Big Eye, because you can make it with 2 Priestesses. So for those awkward Gauze plays. So that is the Xyzs. There's not very many for a new age deck. Synchro-wise, we play 1 Catastor and 1 Hyper Librarian as our 5s. Of course, we're going to play a Spellcaster for one of our 5s. We play 1 Tempest Magician as our level 6, because it's really good against Chain Burn, and it's really good in time, which is another thing I experienced. And under Starhole, it can burn for massive damage by removing all the tokens. Then for our 7s, we play Arcanite Magician. As I explained earlier, this is absolutely broken, and the fact that you can make it with any level 4 guy you have in your deck, so like Breaker, make your Breaker play, and then you can go Spellbook of Life, bring out Veiler by banishing Spellbook Magician, and it makes a perfect 7, and you can make this. Or you can just nuke the field if you're feeling boring. You can play Black Rose and nuke the field. For our level 8s, we played Stardust and Scrap Dragon. And then for the only fusion, I play Chimera Tech, because I do plan on siding Cyber Dragons. Even though I haven't built the side yet, of course I would side Cyber Dragons if I played that, because the deck needs more monsters. So yeah guys, this has been a quick Prophecy deck profile. I hope you've enjoyed. I don't really have much else to say, other than the deck is really, really powerful. I really like it. If they don't hit it this coming ban list in March, I will definitely be playing it the next format. So I'm really impressed with it. It's really fast, really consistent. You rarely draw bad with it, and when you do, you will often be able to play out of it because the top decks are so good, because the deck is so consistent. But otherwise, that's about all I have to report to you guys. Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. And I'll speak to you guys there. And I'll see you guys with the duel videos for this deck as soon as I've dubbed them, so in a couple of days. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed. This is me, Jamie the Kid 00, and I'll see you soon. Bye.